Thank you for joining us today on Earthfile. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. Trees and forests are crucial for assisting efforts to meet the new Sustainable Development Goals, given their role in absorbing carbon, cleaning and cooling the air, acting as natural water pumps to sustain river flows, stabilizing soils, recycling nutrients for agriculture, and supporting habitats for wildlife, to name just a few of their gifts to humanity. But the forest and all it provides for human benefits are at risk. How does this affect you? And what can we all do? Are some of the things we'll look at today on the program. Do stay with us. Forests are essential for life on Earth. 300 million people worldwide live in forests, and 1.6 billion depend on them for their livelihoods. Forests also provide habitat for a vast array of plants and animals, many of which are still undiscovered. They protect our watersheds. They inspire wonder and provide places for recreation. They supply the oxygen we need to survive. They provide the timber for products we use every day. But forests are being destroyed and degraded at alarming rates. Deforestation comes in many forms, including fires, clear-cutting for agriculture, ranching and development, unsustainable logging for timber, and degradation due to climate change. This impacts people's livelihoods and threatens a wide range of plant and animal species. Some 46 to 58 million square miles of forest are lost each year, equivalent to 48 football fields every minute. As the human population continues to grow, there is an obvious need for more food. In addition, agricultural products such as soy and palm oil are used in an ever-increasing list of products, from animal feed to lipstick and biofuels. Rising demand has created incentives to convert forests to farmland and pasture land. Once a forest is lost to agriculture, it is usually gone forever, along with many of the plants and animals that once lived there. National laws regulate the production and trade of timber products at all stages, from harvesting to processing to sales. These laws can be violated in any number of ways, such as taking wood from protected areas, harvesting more than is permitted, and harvesting protected species. Illegal logging occurs around the world, and in some places, illegal logging is more common than the legal variety.
We've seen over the last couple of decades a significant increase of involvement of organised crime in timber trafficking, largely driven by the low risk and yet high profits. Timber trafficking is actually a very profitable crime area. We've seen environmental crime in general grow at 2 to 3 times the rate of the global economy, making it one of the more profitable sectors internationally. It's now ranked 4th as amongst the most profitable crime types. Amongst that, international timber trade is probably the most valuable crime amongst the environmental crime groups. It's worth $30 to $100 billion a year. Of that, at least $10 to $15 billion is unpaid taxes, lost revenue for the countries, but the rest of that is also uncollected licence fees, bribes that are paid to avoid paying proper dues for logging permits, and also simply the theft of very valuable natural resources from the country. The ability of illegal loggers to put timber onto the market at low cost, because of the avoidance of paying taxes and the avoidance of having to restore the land after logging and all the other costs they avoid, has meant that cheap illegal timber is put onto the market, suppressing global timber prices by between 9 and 16%. That means that legitimate timber industry is actually losing in the order of $30 billion a year in lost revenue because they are unable to compete against the illegal loggers.
Poor communities near forests are often vulnerable when outsiders try to gain control over the timber nearby, which can lead to repression and human rights violations. Wood is still a popular fuel choice for cooking and heating around the world. And about half of the illegal removal of timber from forests is thought to be for use as firewood. The country lost over 2 million hectares of forest annually between 2005 and 2010, driven by agricultural expansion, logging, and infrastructure development, according to the risk analysis and mapping company Maplecroft. Wood fuel such as charcoal remains one of Africa's main energy sources for cooking and heating. Thousands of illegal traders in the country produce charcoal that mostly ends up with secretive export syndicates operating from the commercial capital, Lagos. Environmentalists warn that this multi-million-dollar industry is a major threat to Nigeria's forests if not checked. Deforestation is a major cause of climate change and environmental degradation.
Most of the wood we chop here from our woodlands, we burn them, so we are literally burning our forests. And there's a very simple means of reducing this, because if you ask the people why are they cutting down the trees and is it not bad for the environment, they will tell you they know, but they don't have alternative. Kerosene is expensive for some people, especially during the time of fuel crisis. Very few people can afford gas. That's if at all, if they know even how to use it. Electricity, how many people cook with electricity? So you see, most of the people depend on the biomass. And this is causing a lot of environmental hazards for us.
Protected areas are not immune to farm expansion, which is challenging conservationists to find a sustainable and appropriate balance. To overcome this challenge, a measure was introduced, the forest carbon credits, a new kind of green commodity that can be traded on an international carbon market. The credits are generated by successfully halting deforestation and land degradation at targeted sites, thereby reducing carbon dioxide emissions. Carbon offsetting delivers finance to essential renewable energy, forestry, and resource conservation projects, which generate reductions in greenhouse gas emissions. In order to ensure this finance delivers genuine results, the projects which are supported must be high quality and additional, proving that they will not happen without the sale of carbon credits. Projects follow a comprehensive set of validation and verification procedures to demonstrate that they are generating emission reductions and are monitored on a regular basis through independent third parties. In an effort to preserve trees, enable companies, conservation groups, and countries to invest in forests as offset for carbon emissions, governance is particularly important given studies' suggestion that agricultural interventions be given more national and international prominence under the Reducing Emissions from Deforestation and Forest Degradation Framework, otherwise known as RED program.
RED Plus seeks to reduce the estimated 12 to 15% of global greenhouse gas emissions attributed to deforestation and forest degradation.
The RED program is an ongoing international effort to develop and fund projects for reducing emissions related to forests in developing countries. Under the RED program, countries propose projects and generate verifiable credits from avoided emissions, which are then purchased to offset emissions incurred elsewhere.
When we make progress on RED Plus, we're making progress on illegal timber trade. When, to reach climate change mitigation targets, countries build maps of their forest carbon stocks, they're also building a better understanding of illegal timber flows. When partners countries put in place safeguards to meet UNFCCC requirements for RED Plus payments, they're also putting in place safeguards to prevent illegal logging. When countries receive payments for RED Plus, they're also receiving resources to help them combat illegal timber trade.
The federal government of Nigeria, reinforced by pioneering efforts from Cross River State, started to engage in RED Plus in 2009 and became a partner country of the UN RED program in February 2010.
In Nigeria, for example, an assessment of the risks from RED Plus policy measures revealed that a planned logging ban might conserve forest carbon stocks, but it was also likely to increase illegal logging.
The Nigeria RED Plus Readiness Program envisions a two-track approach to achieve RED Plus readiness in Nigeria based on the development of institutional and technical capacities at federal level, and carrying out intense institutional strategy building and demonstration activities in Cross River State. Between 2012 and 2014, $4 million was spent on the UN RED program in Nigeria.